Hello and welcome to Patrick's Models and Transport. I'm beginning to feel much better from getting over the flu. Still got the cold, but this is the first day where it's been a bit more normal. And I was out in the car, a lot of fresh air. That was good. Right, so I'm doing some work on the Chapelon-Crosti railway station, which is the Jouef Gare Villeneuve model, which is kit number, ref number 1985. In fact, here it is. There we go. There it is. So, of course, my station came devoid of all railings, absolutely nothing on it. So, I've been preparing it for preparing the finishing work. So what have we got here? Here's some of my other assorted purchases on Vinted. These are Jouef benches and chairs. Nice little chairs there. And a couple of these chairs are going to go in the signal box. There's also some Jouef flower pots. This looks very much like, I don't know what that could be, a Jouef nameplate, just a bit of flat plastic that could be used for something. No idea what I'm going to use that for, but something will turn in useful for something anyway. The benches are very nice, so let's begin. Nothing's glued down, and now I will explain. So, benches. There are double benches, like this one. Double bench, back to back, single benches. The double bench is very nice, and this is, I'm actually going to measure this because this is very, very easy to make using styrene. Make your own. Very easy. I mean, I've got these ones here already made, so ready made. Bought them second hand, paid them very little. I don't remember, but really silly money. And of course, I'm going to paint them. So I've decided to position this double bench more or less here. I'm not putting benches here because this would clutter up the front platform. Station master has to come here. There's passenger flow going in and out the station building, but here it's okay. This is the waiting room, so this is where people could come out and, you know, stay in the sun, still maybe go. This, I suppose the station has an internal squalid toilet. If it's a French station of this vintage, it's probably very squalid. It'll be a hole in the ground, a Turkish toilet. Well, mentioning toilets and Turkish toilets, I'm very used to them because they were commonplace in Italy throughout all my schooling. All grades of school, all school grades had a hole in the floor toilets. Universities, barracks, everything. No, I had thought to make like a little external horrible toilet, but it would have been too small. There's a very nice Jouef model. Don't remember which one, but I think it's, wait a minute, this one here, number 1979, there beside my thumb, where you can see the wee toilet building there on the right. External toilets. This is nice. I think I saw this one here for sale as well, but it was a bit too big for my requirements. I went for the really small village one, 1985 here. But they're really lovely Jouef buildings. There's a village church as well. I don't know. There isn't a church in Brunel. Well, we'll have them always even near the station. But I'm thinking of getting a wee church or something to put on a corner when I eventually manage to work on Brunel. Anyway, now I'm getting better, I'll be able to get cracking again on all my various projects. Okay, so also because some nice developments anyway. No, I'm not talking about the model, the railway layouts. I'm just talking in general. So anyway, so that's one bench there, one double bench. Then there's another bench I'm putting it here. I decided I'll fit it here and not there, because if I put it here too central under the window, it would get in the road of the entrance. Imagine somebody has to take something bulky, a wheelbarrow, a handcart or something, so you'd better have it more pushed over like that on the corner, and that doesn't disturb anybody. So you can get passengers smoking their gitan cigarettes there and whatever. It's historical setting, YouTube. A historical setting in the past when such frowned upon activities were commonplace because people didn't know any better. Okay? Right. And the other side, we've got the same, another single bench, which I also decided to put a little bit offset compared to the window, mainly because of the entrance here, so the side entrance. Now, in the original model, looking at the various models, I've looked at pictures online, there are all sorts of people have closed fences, trees put here, all sorts of stuff, because it was more or less you could do it the way you wanted. I decided to leave open side accesses, mainly because this is what I've seen on stations. You can anyway go directly to the platform without having to pass through the building. In particular, Corte d'Argent station is like this, very beautiful railway building. You've seen it in some of my videos with the Malaxa Class 66 rail buses, and you see that the bench, if it's slightly offset compared to the window, it doesn't get in the road of somebody coming in with something bulky here. This hole here should house the French sort of bell column that I've not seen a photo of it in real actual photograph, but this model was fitted with such a thing, like a column with a bell, which is probably like in Italy, small stations had a bell which would ring when a train was just going through and not stopping. That would to warn people to keep away from the platform because it was a train, a through train that wasn't going to stop. Which is why, and well, that's why the Lerino, Lima Lerino station with the bell, which I have, which I'm going to have to show you. We'll talk about that. I'll dedicate a video to it. Anyway, so that's that. The benches, of course, I'm not going to leave them in this plastic, creamy plastic. I'm going to paint them green, because green is a classic colour for a wooden bench. So I think, by the look of them, I would say they're all wooden. At least I'm going to pretend they're all made of wood. They've got slats. So I'm not painting the sides concrete and the rest. They're just getting painted wood and that's it, end of story. Or if it's even metal with a wooden thing, it's all painted the same colour. Anyway, then we have the fences. So I took two lengths of my assorted second-hand fences, and I chose these ones that are a bit more decorative. You can see they're a bit nicer. And I cut them to size. I cut a piece off. These bits won't be thrown away because these can be recycled and joined together and turned into a length of fence. Of course, these will be glued down here. You can see that in origin, this kit here, whoever had it at the beginning had fitted some fences here because you see the glue marks there, but then it got snapped off. So okay, so after some talking, I still run out of speed. I run out of throat anyway. I'm still full. I have to blow my nose. It doesn't sound nice on camera. Anyway, so I decided to go for this more decorative these more decorative railings, and generally I've left these on other layout white, because very often they're actually made of concrete, these bigger ones. It can be a kind of dusty whitish concrete, or things are painted white for visibility, etc. on the Brunel layout, I fitted them and I didn't do anything to them. Technically, they could be, generally these kind of railings are cast concrete railings, and it would probably be best painted grey. So one day, there's a hell of a lot of them on the Brunel layout, so one day that I've got nothing else better to do with myself and I've got a big Brunel out, I might even paint them, and I might even not. But in this case here, these ones are more decorative, and so I could think, we could imagine that these are cast iron. And being cast iron, you wouldn't be painting them white, because then you see the rust straight away. So I'll paint these green, the same colour as the benches. So I've got a very nice green here. And I'll show you now my new piece of furniture. Because here I used to have 2 amplifiers, an old wooden kind of stool was a sort of contraption, and this drawer was on top. So I bought this plastic drawer here, and I have all my paints there. I don't have paint all over the support, so I have all my paint here, and I could use this nice green here. This is a nice shade of green for a bench, for railings. It's a nice green, dark green. I think we use that. So I've got also all the other bits and pieces that I'm working on. The loads of drawer space, even for on working projects, instead of having things lying around the house. There's the signal box. There's the street lights. I have to decide how to wire them up, etc., etc. And under here I have other stuff. There's my tin of contact spray, a locomotive that needs working. Oh, these are empty cigar boxes that are useful for keeping things in. Empty cigar boxes. And yes, it's bad for you. It says it on it, right? And there's some tube of super glue. I don't use this for modelling, but sometimes you're forced to use it. And I'm going to repair a thing, and we're going to talk about a technique that I heard. Super glue and bicarbonate of soda. I want to test that, and we'll do it together in video. And there's my drawing equipment in here as well, so that's a very nice chest of drawers. So I've improved my workstation here. There's the other bits and pieces under there that I keep. Boxes with other odds and ends. I'd have to improve this as well, because this is always, need to take things out, you have to shift things. There's an old Turkish coffee pot which is chipped, so my wife doesn't want to use chipped enamel cookware, and so this is for making Turkish coffee, because in Romania they make Turkish coffee. And once it's chipped, once it got chipped, it landed on the tiles, I got it, and it's my water reservoir. I've knocked it over more than once. Okay, very well. So back to business. So I'm going to paint the railings green, and that will give this layout, the green will give it a touch of colour, in my opinion. Then I want to show you another thing. Water crane. I bought a water crane. This is a Vollmer water crane, and you can see that it can either, has a double option. Of course, I put it in this little plastic bag where there's the water crane and this is a kind of big funnel thing, so that once it catches the drips from the water crane, you can either fit it just with a drain down there, or with this big long tube here sticking up there. Now, I've never seen in service, and I've seen water cranes in Italy, I've seen them in Romania, etc. I've seen them on the railway in various countries. I've always seen them simple, so I don't think I'll fit this other bit here. No, but we'll talk about this in a dedicated video. There's a wee valve there. Of course, I have to paint this. It's a bit, the tie rod up there is a bit cracked. In fact, I'm going to repair that with some glue before doing it. There's a lantern that has to be painted up. But this is a very, very nice water crane. So we've got a water crane, and the good thing of the water crane is that we can use it. Considering I don't operate both layouts at the same time, the water crane can just shift around between Chapelon-Crosti and Brunel whenever needed. It's the same water crane. So we're going to look at various photographs. I've not decided whether to paint this green, which could be an idea, whether to paint it grey. Italian ones were always painted grey. I'll have to have a look. I'll have a look at some photographs and then decide. What colour would you advise me to paint it? Green, grey, a dark grey? Let me know. I'll dedicate a video anyway when we repair it beforehand, and we'll talk about this in another video. Okay, so that was a bit of a long video, blah 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 blah. Yes, about the super glue. You saw the super glue in a drawer a minute ago. This is another job I'm going to have to do. This is one of the door ashtrays from the regatta, and this, it broke. It's 1987 plastic. I tried fixing it with araldite, with epoxy cement. No use, it just broke off. It was an absolute waste of time and a load of smell in here. It's something. Epoxy resin is one of the stinkiest things on the planet, so I made an absolute mess for nothing. So I've been thinking to clear this epoxy rubbish off somehow, scrape it off anyway, at least work it down there. Anyway, it didn't do absolutely anything, and glue this on using super glue and bicarbonate of soda, because apparently super glue and baking powder, which is bicarbonate of soda, we use it for the washing machine. I've been using it for my cold. Boiling water and then inhaling it, then a towel over your head and you breathe it in, and I've been feeling better than with other things. I did it twice today, so bicarbonate of soda is a fantastic thing, and I want to try this. This is a job I want to do anyway. In the days when cars had ashtrays everywhere, you can see that nobody smokes in there. So that's another job that has to be done, and that's why I've got the super glue in here, even if I'm not a super glue user. I only use it for specific things. Right, so that's us, that's update. So this stuff will be getting painted, these things will be getting painted and then glued on. We'll do the gluing on together, and this way Chapelon-Crosti station will be finished, minus that missing bit there, which I will have to probably build one. I'll probably make one. I was even thinking to install a wee street light or something around here, because there's no lighting at all, and I'm thinking what to do, because I have a little street light in a bag, which could be very useful, and it could be useful also to model other street lights and make my own. So maybe a couple of lamps here wouldn't be a bad idea at each end of the platform. Okay, so as you can see, I glued these, I told you before, cut them to size, glued them together using Tamiya cement. That way they're just ready to be painted and glued in position using some glue and glaze, PVA glue. Okay, so that's that for the moment. Cheerio, and see you next time. From Chapelon-Crosti. And if you were want to know what I was listening to before doing this, but when it was before I began recording the video, I was listening to Samuele Bersani. He is another very interesting Italian singer. This is his album Pixel, from the album Cinema. Up there, before that I was listening to Carmen Consoli, Guarda l'Alba, the beautiful cantantessa that I made a post about. And there's Giorgio Gaber, another great singer. Okay, and another group I like, mentioning music, the rest men of Matmata. They are from Bretagne. Anyway, okay, Fiore della Strada, Enrico Ruggeri, the Killers. Okay, so I like music. Okay, cheerio, and see you next time. And happy Boxing Day, by the way.